that happened.
Hello, everyone. Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 here. We are very, very sorry that we did not come on Monday night, but I'm telling you, I don't know which one did it more. Sitting around trying to do something in the house, watch TV, or just eat lunch. I fell asleep eating my lunch the other day. I'm talking to Ron today about a show we're watching, and I said, Ron, was it that girl that got, kind of taken out? And he, what? I mean, he was sound asleep. It's just, man, I'm telling you, I took a little drive today when I left Ron's house to go home and prepare for the night show. And I took a little drive and I went out in the country, and there's not a whole lot of corn and a whole lot of beans left. So, boy, when we get that out of the air, and I don't want it yet, but once we get all of this done, then if we could just have a nice, steady rain for about 5 or 6 hours and just get this pollen is just this might be the worst fall we've ever had, but we're not getting bad weather in essence because it's not cold. And I went out and picked nice, I'll show you one when I come back, nice big juicy tomatoes off of our vines still today. So I'm gonna play the music and say the pledge, and I want to thank Janet, and she was here first and second tonight. Papa G, Richard's here. Looks like Cindy. The other night when you tried to contact me, maybe tomorrow we can talk about that thing you sent. I haven't really looked at it. I just haven't did much at all, but that's the reason I didn't answer. I just wasn't feeling good at all. Justin's here and One Voice is here. So let's play the music and say the pledge, and then we'll go on with the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA.
What's the difference between Brandon and Mandy and me? Lights that you want to let run out
From the
of.
lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee.
Lights that I asked them to show. They will not.
Across the
Brandon will not
plains
show
of
them.
Texas. Oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA.
And I found out about
where there's
Opie the
pride
other
in
day.
every
It's just,
American
I'm not going to watch it. No.
heart.
I just, when I found out that Ronnie got where he said it's not going to be for everyone. And I found out that he was one of them. It just hit me up.
And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today.
I guess since I'm not going to be charged in one state, it doesn't matter to me if I'm going to look for the vote. Yeah, I'd like to see it go hard with that because I think we could be in there in 3 years. We did something to the coaching staff in England. Having some Baltimore coach people up on his stuff. I like the way they like it. All right. I think they should move that guy that's in triple A. Not the hitting stuff or whatever he is. I'd like to see him be manager. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. I am. But you know what? I'm proud to be an American, but you also have to look out there and you have to see things that's going on. And you have to see things like in a country, and I'm going to talk about this in a country named Russia. I want to talk about a little girl when I get into the show, but I want to get into the kids version. Say hi to Jimmy. And Jimmy, I don't know if you've been posting or not. I know I got a message from your daddy, and I haven't heard any more. Everything is good. I hope you're being a kid, but you know, I talk about being kids. And I was on Facebook today, and someone made a statement. Someone made a statement on Facebook. You know, Patriot 11, you might know a little something about this from Grandma and Grandpa, or you know, Jana, have you told Patriot Princess or Patriot Hunter? You know, they made that statement on Facebook. They says, did parents really allow their kids to go all over the town that they lived in? They could go any place, but the only thing they had to do was be home by dark. And my answer was no. And the guy says, what do you mean no? This is what I've been told. And I said, it wasn't be home by dark. It was be home by the time the street lights was on. I know that's when all of us grew up. The kids, Ron and Russ. Now, once Ron and Russ got to be 15, 16, and 17, they was allowed to stand on the street corner. Because, see, we was big time in Buckingham back then, because up on the street corner, right across the street, we had a outdoor phone booth. So if something happened, the kids could run to that phone booth. But they would go up there and they'd go to Charlie Fisher's little store tavern. And they'd give them a bottle of Pepsi and they'd put their peanuts in it. Did you ever do that? Did you ever drink a bottle of Pepsi, anybody, with peanuts in it? Pretty good. You said that to kids now today and they vomit. But anyway, it's amazing how some people are starting to realize. I mean, me, I was allowed, I could go anywhere in Buckingham, which, you know, guys, if you know Buckingham, it's if you blink going through it, you miss it. You got to go through like this. But anyway, you know, Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp. You know, I was talking to Patriot Small Hank about you, Patriot Karate Kid, the other day, because I haven't got any reports from Mom if you're still doing it, but you'll always be Patriot Karate Kid. And Patriot Small Hank kind of likes he calls it martial arts. I have a hard time remembering martial arts, so that's why I still call him Small Hank. But I was talking to him about you the other day, and I said, you know, the one thing, when I got to talk to him, one thing, he asked me about it. And I said, I always look I. Small Hank is an 8-year-old boy. Then when it comes to fun, he's like a 5-year-old boy. And I'm not saying he's not smart. He's one of the smartest kids in the world that I know. But they do this twirl with a back kick. And when they go one-on-one, he does this, every move, he does this twirl with a back kick. And he does it like in slow motion. And then he never follows it with a kick. He starts laughing. I had to take him last week when my son and daughter-in-law was in Jamaica, of which they made it home. They came home a day early. They came home a day early because had they waited until the time they were supposed to come home, they might have been there for a month. Now, as he said, 9 years ago, they go to Jamaica for the first time, or the second time, because they went on their honeymoon 10 years ago. And when they did this, he said, Dad, we had no kids. You was younger? Yeah, I was in my 60s. He said, you could take care of the animals and, we didn't need. He said, something like that happened, we'd have wrote it out. So, but when you have two kids, an 8-year-old and she'll be 3. Yeah. She'll be 3 on the 13th of December. And what a different day it's going to be this year. She was born on the 13th of December. I got a phone call. And then I got a phone call, Dad, she's not doing well. She got stuff in her lungs from the after birth and stuff. And they rushed you. You guys remember the story. They rushed her to the hospital and she was there for over a month. And they just run a event in her honor because her mom and grandmother and other people they're constantly taking these snaps, like you get a beer, a pop, you snap it, you take that top off, and they take them out. And guys, I'm telling you, these huge water containers, that you put out, on your water machine and that, about that round and about, that tall. They take like 6 and 7 of them twice a year. They've got all the taverns, all the stores. So it's a big event and that. Patriot, John, are you on? John, was it Boogie's birthday the other day? Can you give me a yes or tell me which one it was? Because there's Boogie, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo. Our 4 Bs. Hi, Robert. Hey, Beth. Come on, John, answer me. Come on, John. Yeah, he's on. Robert, since you're talking to John, would you ask him which grandkid's birthday it was the other day? And I know there's a delay here that when I'm saying things, it takes, I think it's like a 3 or 4 second delay for you guys to actually get it. Big Daddy said what? I'm going to talk about Big Daddy tonight. Okay. Hi, Myrna. John don't want to tell me, so I'm going to sing happy birthday to Boogie. Happy birthday belated to you. Happy birthday belated to you. Happy birthday, Boogie. Happy birthday to you. I should have just sang it to the B. But anyway, I seen that and that was probably my worst day when I seen it. And I didn't have the show on Monday. And happy birthday, Boogaloo. Happy birthday, Boogaloo. Happy birthday, Boogaloo. Even though it's delayed, happy birthday to you. So I figure Myrna sung it to him. So they got their birthday thing. But we have Patriot. I seen Mike Davis was on here a minute ago. Beth Shaw's here. And when Mike, I think of Little Leona and when I tell people what that family did, naming that little girl after my mom on the same birthdays they have. And it just, every time I stop at the cemetery to put flowers or just to talk to my mom and dad, I always talk to her about that. And I've actually had dreams where she has told me that she knew this. So keep talking to them, guys, because I really believe they hear us and they will talk to us back. So I've already talked about Small Hank, little Elan. I don't hear much from them now because, like I said, Grandma, the one I was really close with, she and it just mind-boggling to me to call this little girl Grandma because I've known her for her. I went to my Aunt Lonnie's house, who she was named after. I went there when she was born. But Patriot, little monkey, to say I miss her. I mean, it's almost like, wow. It's like, I got to see her 3 days a week and usually on the weekend. But now Liam's been so busy with his football. I if I see her on the weekend, she's at a game and running. Patriots 7. Here's one picture of him. This is him with his mom and dad shortly after they won the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. They celebrated and they did great. The next day, here was Liam out in the yard, practicing his kicking, which is okay with me. But I'd rather be him out there playing catch because baseball is my favorite sport. The school welcomed him back to school on Monday with a little notification before school started. There's 3 towns involved in Clifton's football. It's Ashcombe, Clifton, and Shabance. And the fire department and the police for the 3 towns met these kids as they got to Ashcombe and took them all the way. So there was one other one I really wanted. This is Liam riding in the car in the parade. Oh, man. It ain't going to let me show you. I give up. But the one I really wanted to show you was they're true patriots, these kids. They got big Super Bowl rings. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the one I really want. Anyway, I'll just tell you what it was. The day of the game, or the night before the game, they had a practice, a walkthrough. And my daughter had bought American flags for these kids. She had bought American flags for these kids, and she thought she had enough for everybody. But she realized she was short. So the other parents and the school district chipped in, and every kid on this team ran onto the field carrying a flag. They got over to the sideline. They put him where they needed to put him. They was very respectful. It really meant a lot to me to see him do that. But I know I spent a little more time on my grandkids tonight, but there's just the things that happened with Liam in the game. I don't know what they're going to do this weekend when they don't have a game. I don't know what they're going to do. But then you got Super Gymnast, who over the course of the last 2 or 3 games, we even got closer because she decided she liked to hang out with Papa when she was at the games. Could be that she got a couple of trips to the concession stand, but, I kind of want to think she just liked to hang out with me. But I received a notification yesterday. They put out all of the grades, and she was one of a few in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th that had straight A's. And I mean, she loves school. She loves to read. So that concludes tonight's version of the kids. That's all we have for tonight. And kids, I just spell it KIDS. Kids means fun. Kids mean go out and play. Guys, I'm going to tell you, we're about ready to go into winter. And it's going to get cold and it's going to get snowy. And you're going to say, well, I wish I could go outside and play. My question is why? But what if we get so much snow in the area you're at, it knocks out the internet? What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and wish that during this nice weather, you had done what you did. Now, this video is not meant for children. They can watch it under the discretion of their parents, grandparents, or legal guardians. The music I played tonight, I have no legal rights to. I use it for entertainment purposes only. And anything that I talk about, I use because I've checked it and it's supposedly true. So I'm going to start the show off tonight, the grown-up part, with Big Daddy. I've seen people saying Big Daddy said this and Big Daddy said that, and I like him. I've been following him. As a matter of fact, 2 different places he started following me on TikTok. But I was on TikTok today, and I got a video from him. It was a live video, questions and answers. And after a while, since I know a little bit more than a lot of the people's there, I was asking some questions. And one of the questions was, Big Daddy, I know you're not rich, but why are you charging money for people that get questions answered? But I didn't pay, so he didn't answer. As I watched the show, a few people said, could you answer that man's question? Why are you the cha-ching or whatever button? You have to give you something. Why does people think that they deserve to be paid for giving information? Especially when the hat comes out in a video and says, anybody who does will be dealt with. And I got very disappointed because I really liked this man. I really like his what seems to be honesty, but there was 2 other people. One of them said, I live in the Philippines. Well, I lived in the Philippines. My birth certificate is in the Philippines. Well, I have to go back to the Philippines to get my money. A simple easy answer would have been yes. Somebody else was from Nicaragua. Did they have to go back to Nicaragua? Yes. But he wouldn't answer. If you didn't see a cha-ching or some kind of star or something, and then what aggravates me, he's doing a live and he's getting commercials. You'd be sitting there and all of a sudden he'd go off to a commercial. Maybe I did it wrong in the beginning. Maybe if I would have did the same thing and made some money, I could have helped people out here. But see, that's not their viewpoint. And I know Big Daddy, a lot of people like him, and so do I. But to me, he's one of these people that's just come on the scene in the last how long? Maybe it's going too long for him. Maybe it's lasting too long. And he's seen a way to make money. He's very personable, very knowledgeable. But I just don't like it when people charge. People like us, we give up our time to go and watch their shows. But it is what it is. So I'm not going to dwell on it. I have one of my Patriots, Linda. She sends me stuff about Big Daddy every day, and I watch it every day. I just will not watch another live with him. And as one Patriot to another, he gave a couple answers that they weren't right. But everybody I make mistakes. Gary, I'm sure you make mistakes. Myrna. Oh, I don't even answer them anymore, Mike. My phone rings and I got it set up that it'll say potential spam. If it doesn't, I rarely answer my phone. It's ridiculous out there, the spam. Then you go into your email account, and I go in 2-3 times a day and empty out spam emails. I thought we were supposed to be getting things better, not worse. I thought we were taking over mainstream media and everything was going to be better, but it's gotten worse. I thought we were promised by November 1st, we were going to see gas under $2 a gallon all over. Not here in Illinois. I did see it under $3. I don't know. But we're still standing, and I won't give up. I won't surrender, and I won't comply. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But when are we going to get something? I'm going to read Bruce here in a few minutes. And to be honest, I'm going to be 100% honest with you right here. I read Bruce because he has some information sometimes. But I'm going to tell you what me and Ron just spoke about before the show with Sue. And I think Mary Ann, if she was on, she would agree with it. If Sue and Bob did their presentations and Bruce taped them, and then he just taped any one of his presentations, there's really no reason for them to be wasting their time live and giving up that almost 2 hours every night. It's the same thing. One of the things Bruce said last night, this made me very happy. He said that we're supposed to go to the Big N and the Big G on the 1st of November, which will be Saturday, which would open it up for us to get our numbers on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. But it's the same thing. It's always, once he does the Tuesday night call, it's over Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I can't hardly wait to see what he's going to say tomorrow. But he made the statement, senior citizens didn't get a raise this year. And that really, this month, and that really, really stifled me, because when he said that, just the week before, he had made the statement that he thought that maybe today would have been the day for senior citizens. That today would have been the day that we would have got the money, because it was a Wednesday where nobody else was getting paid. It was an extra Wednesday in the month, and it came out perfect. Now, the hat has been saying the Big N and Big G is starting the first. He still says that we will be on them. The people who has currency in that will be on the beds before the New Year, but on the New Year, they will be revealed all over. And it cracks me up. And I know there's some TikTokers on here, but it cracks me up about TikTok because I'm starting to realize it is a real pain in my rear end. But there's so many people send things that if you're not on it, you can't see it. But the reason I say what really disappoints me with TikTok is the things that they let people say on this place. The things that they, I did a video, and all the video was what if? What if President K is still alive? What if the plane didn't have the 3 people in the night that they went on February 3rd, 1959? What if Martin Luther King can actually see his dream fulfilled? And I probably had 30 different what ifs. So the video was fine, but then they want you to give them a explanation of what it's about. What do you mean what it's about? In the explanation, I said, all I'm asking here is what if. I'm not saying any of them are. I'm not saying any of them aren't. I'm just asking what if they are still with us? What if people that we think are still with us are not? And that's the only thing I was asking. And they blocked it. Give me a strike or whatever I guess they think it hurts your feelings if they give you a strike. It doesn't. Because to me, to be honest with you, I think TikTok is the worst run. A kid was on today cutting the hat down like you wouldn't believe, cussing and screaming and cussing. And in the comment section, I said, first of all, you haven't a clue of what you're talking about. And maybe when you grow up and get old enough to shave and get old enough to vote, some people might listen to you. And I'm telling you, that whole people in there talking went bananas. And they said, my experience exact. But why is someone allowed to go in and call people names? I mean, terrible names. And nothing happens. And all I say is, what if? Are they afraid of the truth? Yep. I thought we was run by good people in that place, but evidently not. So, what if? Think about it. Now, before I go on and read, Bruce, I got to talk about something else. There's a TV show that's been on for years. One of my favorite. Got a man in there named Andy and a kid in there named Opie. And remember, they told us the ending may not be for everyone. Jeffrey, Tony, Sandra, Gary, Papa G, and everyone else. Have you been seeing on social medias where people are starting to send videos or lists of people that's went to that GIT place with a little Mo? And someone sent me one the other day, and I'm telling you, it literally broke my heart when I seen Opie name in there. I said, no. No. This can't be real. But it is. Why? But as Ron said, look he was a cute kid who got a great part. Then he grew up and become a kid who got a great part in a show named Happy Days. He went into producing, he went into directing, and he was all everything. Well, isn't that how them people get it? you know. And, we were talking about prank calls, spam mouse messages, and that. I'm looking for a woman on here. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to use Janet. I tell you the thing that the spam and the stuff that I'm getting. I mean, I quit following a guy on Facebook because of this, and I really like this guy. But every day, 8, 10, 12, I don't care who it was. You see these beautiful women, they're not women. Huh? They're not women. That's what do you mean? They look women to me. You got to know what I know. Why? Have you seen them with their panties off? It just, there's a time and place for everything, guys. There's a lot of them, I think they're right. Big Mike and others. And now they're making such a big deal about Big Mike's daughter and how she's getting ready to run. She wants to follow in her mommy and daddy's, not Big Mike's daughter, HCR. She wants to run in her mommy and daddy's footsteps. She wants to make them proud. Proud? All three of them are so deep in, double toothpicks with an HE in front of it. And people just keep eating this stuff up. It's like, I seen a cousin of mine the other day, and he said, "Hey, did you hear she's going to run, and her goal is to become first woman president?" Wow. But one thing I want to talk about too before I go into Bruce is a TV show called The Simpsons. Never watched an episode. Never. My kids could never get friends to come over on the night of The Simpsons because they knew on my TV it would not be run. And when I got my kids a little small TV, not one of these big ones like we got now, it's just one of these old time ones that either throw away or whatever, and I put it in their bedrooms. If I caught them watching it, oh no, they lost their privilege. I did not believe in The Simpsons. I don't know if there's anybody in here, Rocky or none you Bizwax, maybe Jeffrey and John, Sandra. I don't know if you guys was like that, but I didn't never watch an episode. But since I become a Patriot, and especially in the last 2 to 3 years, I'm realizing that show was not what I thought it was. It was a show that was made to open people's eyes. I mean, they predicted long time ago that we would go golden. And what do we get? They predicted that the hat would become president when he did. They predicted that then he would not win because of rigged elections, and they did. He did not win. I'm not saying the elections was rigged, but he did not win. Then they said he would come back. And I didn't know this, but from what I was told, not just from The Simpsons, but he can run again in 2028 because you can only serve 8 consecutive terms unless 8 consecutive years unless you take over for a president like when they took over for Lincoln and Kennedy. You can only serve up to 10 years. If your first term taking over is over 2 years, then you can only get 2 terms. I didn't know that. Of course, I didn't listen in classes like that. Excuse me. But it is what it is. And then the question, when is the hat going to be taken out? when is a hat going to be taken out? What is the, what do I want? Where do I want to use? What is a pleasure to people? And that's not what I really want. That they want him to be taken out. You know, one.
Purpose, maybe.
Huh?
What's the purpose of taking them out?
Yeah, what is the purpose of it? He's supposed to be showing to the world and giving the world back to us. And so many people out there, good people, patriot people, just can't wait for him to be taken out. Why? You know, a lot of people are saying Melania. You know what they're saying about her. But I talked to somebody I think knows a little bit more about Melania than I do and you guys here. And I told her about this and she goes, oh no, that's not what you're saying. What you're saying about this other person, if it is, they did an amazing job, she says, because she literally, even though she's in a Ukraine, Julia is, she said, I literally cried when Melania got with the hat. Me and her's been writing letters for several years and she wants to meet me. But I think if she had her pick who she would want to meet more, the first, she would pick Melania. And I mean, is there a reason we're going to Goldback Standard and our president has golden hair? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, let's see what I want to do now. I'm trying to think. Oh, there's what I want to do. I do want to take a moment and thank everybody who was concerned about mine and Ron's health. And are we 100%? No, but we're getting there. And here's Bruce's intel. I'll read it real quick. If my phone quits acting up. All right. No, I'm not going to read Bruce because page can't be opened up. Huh. I wonder when they did that because I opened it up yesterday. Anyway, I pretty much covered Bruce. Bruce said there was a big meeting yesterday with a lot of countries and everything's going good. He also said that you know, the Doge money should be paid somewhere around the 3rd or the 4th. That people 65, I think, and older will get a nice lump sum of he said around 495,000. I've heard from other sources around 995,000. For some reason, they just don't want us to be millionaires. And I'm okay with either one. But I'm going to give you an idea, guys. None of you Bizwax and Sandra and John and Ann and all everyone that's on here. If you're a senior citizen and you get that $495,000 by Monday or Tuesday of next week, what's going to be the first thing you do? Well, I know the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take an old advice. I'm going to run as fast as I can. I'm not going to let them stop me because I'm the gingerbread man. And I'm going straight in and I'm buying XRP. And I'm buying not tremendous lot, but I figured me and Ron will get at least together 50,000 of them. Guys, XRP is the future. XLM is really starting to heat up too. And yes, they're down. And XLM, I mean. But XRP is the future. All banking things, transferring money is going to be going through XRP. I've seen so many videos. What does it take you to become wealthy? To become a millionaire, they're predicting if you have at least 10, which would right now today cost you like $27 to get 10. And I'm not telling you to go do it. I'm telling you what we're going to do. Because we're seeing as the process is unwinding, they're not doing for us what they should have. This money that they're talking about, this DOGE money that we're supposed to get this weekend, we were supposed to get that 3 months ago. Now, when I tell you, if I'm you, I go get XRP and XLM, and if you have any of that coin that's got a bit in front of it, I would get rid of it. I was talking to a girl the other day, and I mean, she's already bought over 100,000 of XRP. And I said, hey, you told me you had 7 of the coins with bit. And she said, yeah. I said, I want you to read this. And I sent it to her. And she said, well, it's kind of leveled off, so I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to tell you right now, if I didn't want to put the money in my bank, I'd have took all 7 of them and turned it all into XRP. Now, I am not a financial advisor, so don't run as fast as you can. Think out what you want to do. I'm giving you an option. We all know that we're going to get more than $495,000. We all know that everything is going to go the way we want. But that was one of the things that really stuck up in my mind what Bruce said. Bruce also said that we will be going in to the Big N and Big G starting on the 1st. And we've heard the hat say that. Well, what makes me happy about that, and I can't wait to write my letter to Julia tonight about it, because I will get in and get that copied and send her that what he said. That way she doesn't think it's just coming from me. But I will send Julia the note that we're going to the Big N and Big G, supposedly on the 1st. But we can't be in WARSs if we go to the Big N and Big G. I was reading an article the other day, and not just the hat, but leaders from a lot of other countries are getting real aggravated. And I know you guys have probably seen videos or read things about RUSSIA, how they're doing this and this and this. Guys, they're not. They're going in there. They're going in there with force, but it's because of what's underneath that they're taking care of and saving a bunch of the things, the little people that we love so much. I explained that to Julia in a letter last week, and she goes, that makes sense, because one of the places they went into was kind of close to where she lived. And she said some of her friends had passed by there and seen that the military for that country was not bad. They talked to the people. They're cleaning up a mess. She got very upset at this because she thought I was cutting her country down. And I said, sweetie, they just did the same thing in Wisconsin. They're doing it all over the United States. When you have Sleepy and Dopey and Big Mike, when you have Bush Beans, when you have the guy that likes the girl under the desk, when you have all these people running our country for so long, that's what it's all turned into. They're the ringleaders of all of this. Now, the St. Germain funds is supposed to be released. It's not Christmas yet, and it's Easter is gone, but the St. Germain's funds is supposed to be released. Now, what I'm going to tell you about that is the fact I seen here about 2 weeks ago how much money was in the St. Germain funds. It's going to come back to all the people around the world. And let me tell you what I seen. If they give every person in the world $10 million, probably $10 billion, it wouldn't even make a dent into how big this fund is. Something I do want to discuss also is if you feel frisky and you hear a radio station, now this is something I got from Big Daddy today. You hear a radio station start talking about how Canada is, how they're becoming a communist. You don't want to be like Canada because they're this. You don't want to be like the United States because they're this. You need to call in and talk to the leaders and say, hey, we're forming a group and we're going to be turning you in because your people, your DJs have no reason to talk like this on a station where our kids might be listening. I mean, there's these teeny bopper, country western, teeny bopper music. I guess they still have real music today. I know I don't listen to the music of today. A couple people I thought was pretty good. They was good at performers and that. One of them is probably on that list of Get with Mo. We've said for a long time we think she sent. The other one I really liked. But I've been watching, going in and looking and trying to see what her music was about. I can't figure it out. When she won her award, when she won, she sang with such an amazing, beautiful voice. And now everything is yelling and screaming. Yeah, she'll wear little short outfits to show off her legs and her body. And that's what they're selling. That's what it's. And then I watch someone like Shania, who, yeah, she's getting up in age, but for 60 years old, she's a hot little old woman. But she gets out there and sings. And boy, I tell you, I listen to her sing and I think, wow, I can understand the words. And I'm a big critic because, see, I love music. I love rock and roll because we can understand it. Man, we can understand the Beatles and the Beach Boys, Chad and Dean, Mamas and the Papas, the Turtles. We can understand this music. And, Patriot Diane with 2 N's, me and her, when we talk, we always talk about music like that. She'll find something on Facebook or someplace, and it'd be a whole thing of that kind of music, and we'll send it over to each other. A lot of times at night, I like watching TV. I stay up at night because that's my time. At midnight, I start walking, and I usually walk half of my 20,000 steps before I go to bed. That way it gives my dog a chance to need to go to the bathroom where I can put her out. And then when I go to bed, she's good until it's time to get up in the morning. But I've said a lot tonight. Some of them you might have liked. Hi, Lady Anita. Good to see you here, Robert. But the whole thing of it is, I'm never going to ask you for money. I'm never going to ask you for anything other than show up, be part of the family. Me and Ron and Julia now wants to get involved. That when all of this is said and done, I think we all need to continue maybe doing a show or two a week like this just to stay in touch. There's certain things we won't be able to talk about, but we won't need to. But then when we start the projects, and I think by next summer that we need to have a party of all parties. I think we have not given in. We have not surrendered. And yes, we are small, But show me one other show that shows affection, that keeps talking and talking because he felt bad that he missed a little girl's birthday and didn't get to sing to her. Guys, I'm going to turn back the clock a little over 5 years. And I did my first video. And a lot of you know this story. A lot of you might not. But when I did my first video, I was a virgin. I had no clue what I was doing. David Rodriguez and Juan O'Sullivan challenged me and others to do, no matter if you had only 2 or 3 people. And I did about a 25-minute video. I recorded it. And then when I sent it to people like Ron and 11 other people. In that message, I said, if you like it, if you think it has potential, name of the group is Patriot 5. If you like it, I'm going to be doing one every day, 7 days a week, and I did. And when I finished and I talked and I told them what to do, send it out to their people, tell their people to send it out, and their people, and them 12 people turned into 36,000 followers. Now, if you know the story, you know that we've had some people come in and they've hurt us. We've had some people try to steal the show, and it's hurt us. I was talking to a guy the other day, the goofy guy with a beard. No, he's not goofy. He's very knowledgeable. Ronnie. Never mind. He's taking a nap. Oh, what the guy's name? I can't think of it. He thinks he's Jesus. Help me out here, guys. Who am I talking about? I agree with you, Larry. One that's out of this world, a party. Can't let the kids drink, though. Never thought I'd ever say that because I used to like it when I was a little bit younger, when Ron and Russ would sneak me a beer at a party that they was old enough. The Wizard. West Coast Wizard. Thank you, Myrna. Thank you. But anyway, me and him started following each other on TikTok, and he started talking to me. I said, you don't remember me? And he says, I can't say as I do. And I said, well, I built your Telegram site. He goes, what do you mean you built my Telegram site? And I mentioned a couple of people who was with us at the time. And I remember the one girl, I named her Patriot Adopted. And then this guy that was with us, he got to know a little bit about the Wizard, and he told Patriot Adopted about it. And when he told him, she contacted him. She took the initiative. And he came on a couple of our shows back then. And his Telegram site, I think 50 people on my Telegram site. I use it for people to send me information there and whatever else they want to do. I don't care. I've never cared about numbers, but his is in the thousands. And he said, I remember you. He says, you used to follow me also. What happened? Well, them people I just talked about, they didn't like the fact that we wouldn't let them have my show, and they blocked us. I said, you used to have a really good moderator. I was real good friends with her. I was sending her my videos every day, and you was going through them and liked them. They blocked that. You got rid of her instead of them. So everybody makes mistakes. And the whole thing is people I'm talking about, guys, I'm not going to mention names. You guys all know who I'm talking about. But I hope they're doing well. I really do. Patriot Adopted, I wish he would come back. The guy, not so much, but if he would control himself and be nice, I'm sure you guys, he would have to get through Janet. Janet would have to ask me what I think, and I'd tell her, you got the wrench. And guys, I'm not saying Janet is better than anybody else. I'm just saying Janet is there for me every day. I know a lot of people have a lot of things that they have to do. And with that, I'm out of water, and I really need to get something to drink. And And I'm going to call it a night. Just keep your spirits up. Remember, there's a lot of people out there that they're coming in just to make a little quick cash. Some may be good, some may not. But you know what's funny? When I listened to this one guy today and I realized he's taking money for what he's doing, he mentioned all the people that he watches and follows, and every one of them are making money. Right now, C.W. Ward, that man that's got hair like mine on the top of his head. I get a message every day. I get an email from this guy stating, you need to come back to my club, because he's the only person. I spent $9.95 a month to get information from here for his insider club and never was allowed in to the insider club. The next month he went to charge me in. I said, I'm not there. And now 3 years, 4 years later, he is trying everything he can. Why? I'm going to leave you with this. If we are so close and people's going to get so much money, why is people worrying about getting a few more bucks? Why on Bruce in a big call, which it's not a big call anymore because he hasn't had a show over 12 or 13 minutes for a long time. But the show lasts an hour and 40 to hour and 50 minutes. Why is he worried about selling a program that she can say how great it is all she wants, but she's never been to the Redemption Center, and now all of a sudden, out of the blue, she's starting to sell programs for the magic beds. No, if you want information on the magic beds, you get it from Carrie Ann. You get it from her. Don't listen to Sue. Bob and his products, and they're going to start this whole new thing of things up. Why are you doing this, guys? You're about ready to become multimillionaires, if not billionaires. This is a time of happiness, so work on being happy, and I'm going to get me something wet to drink and sit back and just relax the rest of the night. I will be back on Friday night. If not, maybe before, who knows? Maybe something big will happen.
Halloween.
Friday night is Halloween. Do you guys want to do a Halloween show? Or do you want to do an afternoon? Okay. For all that want to do a Friday night regular show, give me a thumbs up. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. So Tony, you went to bed. Good night, Tony. Sweet dreams. Boy, everybody's telling Tony good night. Oh, Beth went to bed too. Went to bed, not wet to bed. Okay, Janet gives me a thumbs up. Come on, guys. Janet, you win. Nobody else wants to say anything, so you give me the thumbs up. Okay, there we go. Timothy Paul wants the night. We'll do a night show. I just didn't want to interrupt you guys. But there was one more thing I wanted to discuss. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. You guys giving me this thumbs up and all that. You heard that the hat passed a law that we're going back to saving the time where we're going to be turning the clock up again. So does that mean that it's going to start getting darker an hour later? So we're not going to, right now, there's a little girl that lives across the street from me. She's on a bus at 6:15 to go to school. It is so dark. And what upsets me is I'm retired. This is my golden years. I'm supposed to be able to relax. But see, when this bus comes down and them blinking lights and all that stuff, it's not really good no matter what color they are. When you got blinking lights coming in your bedroom, into your bedroom, and you see these, you want what's going on. 6:15 every morning. Man, I'm telling you, we need to get this school system straightened up. Something fierce. Okay, guys, this is the night. We will do the show Friday night at 7 p.m. I'll see you then. We love yous all. Have a great evening.